Hello students, and welcome to the CompTIA Cloud+004 Exam Course brought to you by Third Level Technology. I am your instructor, Jim Herby. In this episode, we're going to begin our lecture series and Module 1, which discusses cloud architecture. In this episode, we'll discuss Section 1.1 in the objectives. Our topic is Cloud Service Models. Let's begin. In this episode, we're going to discuss several different cloud service models. These will be different ways that our cloud service providers, our CSPs, can provide products and services to its customers. Our first cloud service model is IaaS, Infrastructure as a Service. Infrastructure as a Service is when a cloud service provider is providing virtualized computing resources over the internet. A virtualized computing resource is when the cloud service provider will be providing some type of service to the customer that typically would be on site with their organization. Infrastructure as a service could be the involvement of storage. Cloud storage eliminates the need for a business to have local servers on site at their location. Infrastructure as a service can also provide infrastructure such as virtual machines and network bandwidth. Infrastructure as a service is a very popular model because it is very scalable and flexible. We can adjust the need of our resources, such as storage, based on the demand of our users at a certain point in time. With infrastructure as a service, we commonly use it for tasks such as hosting websites. We use it as a solution for data backups and recovery, as well as a way to provide data analysis of the different types of user traffic and activity. Our second cloud service model is Platform as a Service, PaaS. You oftentimes will also hear this referred to as PaaS. Platform as a Service is when a cloud service provider is providing an environment for the building, testing, and deployment of software applications. When you are creating a software application, there are several distinct steps that are involved in the process. You need to develop your code, you need to create application logic, you need to perform simulation testing, and all of these different tools are provided by your platform as a service. This allows our developers within our business and organization to focus on their coding tasks and not have to worry about creating the infrastructure to allow them to create an application. Platform as a service is collaborative. That means you can have multiple developers working on the same project in a testing platform. Platform as a service is frequently going to be interoperable. That means it will be integrated with many different programming languages, frameworks, and code libraries. Our third cloud service model is Software as a Service. You might see this abbreviated SaaS and referred to as SaaS. Software as a Service is when a cloud service provider will be the provider of software applications over an internet connection. With software as a service, we remove the need for local installation, maintenance, and updates of software applications because we're allowing the cloud to be the resource where our users can access a specific software application. Software as a service does require a valid internet connection because that is going to be how the user is accessing the cloud resource. Many times, software as a service is paid by the user on a subscription basis. Software as a service is also a very popular option because it will ensure security and compliance. If we have any type of data protection regulations, one common example would be in the medical field. You have HIPAA, HIPAA, that has certain types of regulations regarding how we protect our users' health data. When we have certain types of compliance situations like those, if we have software as a service, our cloud provider is going to be our show of integrity as far as having proper data security and compliance for all of our users. Our fourth cloud service model is function as a service. You'll see this abbreviated as FaaS. Function as a service is when we allow the cloud environment to execute our code in response to specific events. This allows us to allow our network to react in real time when certain types of triggers or thresholds are reached in regards to some type of network use. And we don't have to rely on doing server configuration for these types of triggers. Function as a service allows us to charge our users based on the actual computing resources that are consumed. This is because we can also use these thresholds as ways to trigger alerts to our users and customers if they are approaching the limit on a certain type of resource consumption. Many times, function as a service is going to be something that is integrated with one of your other cloud services. For example, with infrastructure as a service, we could integrate function as a service to give us an alert if we are reaching our limit of our cloud storage capacity. And lastly, we want to understand shared responsibility. Shared responsibility is the understanding that is between the cloud service provider and the customer that will outline all of the security and compliance responsibilities for each party. Example of healthcare data. Situations where you are dealing with medical records, you have to ensure that your cloud service provider and your hospital have a shared responsibility agreement. This is where the provider will manage the security of the cloud infrastructure, while the customer will handle the security access in the cloud. An example would be a cloud service provider managing the server that is managing and storing all of our medical record data, and the hospital handles who can have access to that cloud server. This would be an example of a shared responsibility. It allows us to have clarity on what responsibilities each party has for data protection, and it aims to provide very clear roles and responsibilities for each party. That will conclude our discussion of Section 1.1, Cloud Service Models. In our next episode, we will move on to Section 1.2 in the objectives and discuss service availability. We thank you again for following along in the episodes and the course, and wish you best of luck in your studies. Enjoy the rest of your day.